because this is something that is so new. I don't think anyone has actually learned it in the last many, but it is going to be very technical, but it's going to be enjoyable, okay? This lesson is conducted at Zoom 2 lesson 6, and the big question that a lot of students ask me is that, hey, how did RADAPH and class help me out with this? What does the word RADAPH means? We've covered this in depth last week. What does RADAPH means? Anyone? What does RADAPH means? You've done your homework and you have looked at the word RADAPH in your Blue Letter Bible, in your Bible Hub. What does RADAPH means?
Pursue.
To pursue with an intention to overtake. That's right. So God's goodness. So this comes from, and some of you were very smart. You listen to the song in Psalms 23 and you say, hey, hang on, David, you did not start with Mizmor LeDavid. You start with Psalms 23 verse 6. YIRDEFUNY koyeme hayai fishafti bevet Adonai leorev yamim. Isn't it? So you say, well, hang on, what is this RADAPH that becomes YIRDEFUNY? So I just want to present to you tonight that there is actually a method in this madness, okay? Now, some very interesting facts, and you can actually stop me at any time, but there are about, and you can say hello or ooh or great at any time as well. There are about 23,000 verses in the Old Testament or the Tanakh. And there are about 72,000 verbs. What are verbs? Anyone? Anyone who's a teacher? What are verbs? Poshigan, Poshgan.
A doing word?
They're action words.
Absolutely correct. That's right.
Action.
Teachers love action verbs, right? You know, little Johnny got bullied again. Right? Verbs are action verbs. He broke, she ran, they escaped. Verbs can also be words that describe a state of being. He is calm. She is wise. The king is old. Okay? So what we are trying to highlight to you is, if you look at it, actually, there's actually 23,000 verses in the Old Testament, 72,000 verbs. Average, you get 3 verbs per verse in the Old Testament. So the Bible is actually an action-packed book of the Lord. It's not passive. Okay, you get a big perspective now. It's actually about active document. Now, remember in the last 6 lessons, I mentioned Hebrew verbs can appear in 7 different stems. Don't worry, we're not going tonight deeply into it, because if you go into it, you will not come out. All right, you all get a bit shocked. They got Piel, Pual, Hophal, Hithpael, and Niphal. Remember just now we got one stem, it was Pual, right? The one that talk about praise, right? So the stems can include things like simple action, intensive action, active voice, passive voice, and reflexive voice. That is not important. And in the cow stem alone, there are 8 different conjugations. You got perfect, imperfect, imperative, cohortative, just, infinitive, construct, infinitive, absolute, participle. Again, these are not important, but I just want to highlight to you that this is the complete understanding. If you were to ask me about biblical Hebrew, why do people take 1 whole year to go through this book? Because you actually begin to understand and unpack stems, words, and so on. But what I really want to impart to you tonight is that the best of the best of the best, forget about what I've just said, but with one thing that I want to highlight to all my students, present, past, and in the future, is the ability for you to understand how a verb is being morphed. And we call this the parsing. Can you please say it aloud? This is a very important vocabulary.
Parsing.
P-A-R-S-I-N-G, the parsing of a verb. Please say it again. The parsing of a verb.
Passing of a verb.
Very good. The process to parse a verb involves a verbal stem. So you need to know the stem. Is it a Piel, a Piel, a Pual? Remember? Yes? You need to know the conjugation. Just now we talked about this conjugation, right? The perfect, imperfect, and so on. You need to know the person, the gender, the number, and the lexical form. And generally, the lexical form of a triconsonantal verb is the Piel perfect 3ms. Remember just now we talked about the word katal, he killed. Katal means 3ms, 3 masculine singular, he killed. That's Piel perfect, yeah? Yeah. Piel imperfect, he is killing. Yeah, he is killing it with the song. Someone says, you know, like for example, if you go on the voice, like people like me who can't sing, right? Can't live, can't live without you. You go like, oh my God, stop. If you get Simon Cowell and say, I'll pay you $10,000, Quilla, don't sing anymore, okay? Please, can't live, can't live without you. You go like, oh my God, stop. All right, he's killing the song. Killing not in a good way, but bad way, right? Okay. Biblical Hebrew is very serious. I'm going to make it humorous for you, right? So he killed the song, right? Wow, beautiful, right? But this is like, oh my goodness. Can you please stop singing? I'll buy you a dinner. I'll buy you a char kway teow, okay? Here. $10, all right? Please shut up. Go home, okay? Don't sing anymore, right? He's killing it, all right? Now, you need to understand the conjugation. So, for example, the stem is the cow. The conjugation is perfect. The person could be 3, 2, or 1. All right. 3 is he. 2 is you, he, she, me. He, she, you, me. So it's always like look at the cow stem over here. Gender is masculine or feminine, and number is either singular or plural. Okay. For example, let's talk about a simple word katal. Turn to your neighbor and say katal.
Katal.
Katal. Katal means to kill. All right. So if katal in 3 masculine singular is katal means he killed. 3 feminine singular is what is this?
She killed. That's blurry.
Katla.
Yeah.
Katla. Say it together. Katla. She killed. Right. It could be 2, which is you kill, and 1 singular is
I.
katalti. Look at this. Katalti. I kill. Right? So you've got to understand these basic parsing rules. You have to have a stem, conjugation, person, gender, and number. Don't understand fully, never mind. But just get this into your system. In order to parse, you need to have the stem, conjugation, person, gender, and number. Let's do it again. In order for you to parse a word, you got to have the stem, conjugation, person, gender, and number. And usually, if you look at the dictionary, it will give you the lexical form, which is the perfect 3 masculine singular. The example given here from the textbook, the source is here. It's actually he killed, she killed, you kill, I kill. So it's like French. You got masculine, you got feminine, you got singular, you got plural, right? For example, in the plural form is they kill, you kill, we kill. All right, but that is not important. Now that you slowly begin to arm with an understanding of this, let's do this that is concerning you tonight, which is how does RADAPH, the word over here, which is to pursue. We say that in Psalms 23 verse 6, Mismo Kaf Gimel, verse 6, surely goodness and mercy will follow you. Right? That's what we sing, right? Abdov Wahese YIRDEFUNY Koyeme Hayai Vishafti Beveda Aduna Leyore Yabi. So how does RADAPH, God's goodness and mercy, become YIRDEFUNY? This is where we need to unpeel and unpack and solve this mystery before we take a break. Ark, where is my ark? Okay, let me go up, go to this. Can you see this over here? Can you see this? Ark, to, Vahesed. This is the word that we're interested. How does RADAPH becomes YIRDEFUNY? Now, I am going to show you what this is all about. Okay? RADAPH is Strong's Hebrew 7291. And please take a picture so that you can slowly practice.
Black mark across the screen, David.
Now that black thing is gone now. It takes a few seconds. So how does RADAPH become YIRDEFUNY? RADAPH, everyone follow me and repeat after me. RADAPH is from Strong's Hebrew Concordance 7291. 9,
1.
1791.
It's a tri-consonantal word, RADAPH. It means to chase, to pursue, to persecute. Interesting, right? To chase means doesn't mean it's good thing. So sometimes Hebrew words or Hebrew verbs can have dual meaning. Very interesting. Like bara is to create. Bara also means to fatten. In this case, it's the same. Goodness and mercy can chase after you, can pursue after you, but the same word RADAPH can also mean persecute. Right? Some of you from Malaysia and Singapore, you have an Asian culture. You know what is the RADAPH. You know, the loan shark will chase after me or you or whoever, right? Sometimes if you stay in a high-rise building in Singapore and next morning you wake up and you see the door smashed with red paint, you know that that person, the neighbor, has owed the loan shark money. Loan shark, for those of you who do not know, is like those people in Singapore who borrow money to other people at a very high interest rate. And if you do not return the money in time with the interest, with very high interest, they come and place a pig head on your door or they throw things after you. So it's to persecute you, right? So some people have to run away in the middle of the night. You know, you say, hey, today is my neighbor, tomorrow is gone. So what I'm trying to highlight is RADAPH can be chase, pursue, persecute. But how did it go from RADAPH to YIRDEFUNY? Remember, in the Carl stem, there are 8 different conjugations. Yes?
Yes.
Now, this is the imperfect conjugation. What I just now told you was the Carl perfect. Turn to your neighbor and say Carl perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. It's David Kemp at 18 years old. My wife used to say, wow, you know, when I marry you, the time when I caught you, you have 6 muscles here, bicep, tricep, you know, your shorts is shorter than Brooke Shields' skirt, you know, and you walk around in the hostel, in the nursing hostel, like you're the king of the hostel, you know. But today, I still have 6 packs, a different kind of 6 packs, right? So back then, I was perfect. Just to highlight the point, Carl perfect. Carl perfect is the clean stem. There are 6 more different stems, as we said. The Carl imperfect. Turn to your neighbor and say Carl imperfect.
Oh, imperfect.
Now you begin to understand, right? So this is actually not a perfect stem. This is an imperfect stem. Imperfect stem, what does it mean? It means to denote an incomplete action where the past, present, or future. With the Carl imperfect conjugation, different inflectional prefixes. Turn to your neighbor and say prefixes.
Prefixes.
Are added to it. So hence its nickname, the prefix conjugation. Turn to your neighbor, it's very important. Even if you do not understand it, just let it wash over you. The prefix conjugation.
Prefix
So in other
conjugation.
words, preformative are added to indicate person, gender, and number. Now that you know this, Team Australia, Team Singapore, Malaysia, Team Japan, and Team UK, Europe. Those of you who have only one member in the country, too bad. You are it, you are he or you are she, right? You are the only person for your continent. Sorry, I can't help you. So now the question is this, the $1 million question for those who have dialed in tonight. We have reached here after about 1 hour, okay? Now that you know about Carl imperfect, look at this, all right? For example, we say katal is to kill, right? So if it is an imperfect, is he will kill. So this is yiktol. Turn to your neighbor and say yiktol. Say it together, yiktol. Yeah, tiktol. Tiktol. Tiktoli. So he will kill, she will kill, you will kill, you will kill, and ektol. Ektol means I will kill. Now, hang on. This is where it gets very interesting, right? Yik telu. Now, this is so important. Please take a look over here. I want you to take a look at this. 3 masculine plural. Can you see this? Yik telu. Repeat after me. Yik telu. So yik telu. Very good. So what is yik telu? What is this word here? They will.
No, so that's the 3.
3 masculine and it is plural. They will
Kill.
kill. So now coming back to this, I need you to do a bit of the detective work. Team Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, Japan, and Europe, UK. If you're one person, Adiola, you've got to represent yourself and your continent, okay? We can't help you. Same with Sister Joanne. You are the only person in Japan, so you've got to answer it. You can turn to your hubby and say, hey, how? Okay. Now, coming back to RADAPH and YIRDEFUNY, where do you think, which one is the thing that, is it a 3MS, 3FS, 2MS, 2FS, 1CS, 3MP, 2FP, 2FP, 1CP? Which is the one? I give you 10 seconds. I want you to compare notes.
3MP.
Who said that?
Japan.
Wow! This is a high moment. Can we all give a big clap to Japan? Alrighty.
Sonia.
This is great. Where is Japan? I want to see your face, Joanne. Sister Charity, where are you? Sleeping. I want you to highlight Japan. So, Sister Joanne, can you say that again? Is it what is the masculine and how do you pass that? It is a 3
MP.
Masculine.
Very good. I like that idea. This is a 3 MP and you got that right. Absolutely. You nail it. You nail it. Very good. Okay, so let's go back to the screen. Well done, Sister Joanne. So you see, sometimes it's one person is enough. Okay. Now it has not resolved the whole issue, because if you look at 3 MP, there's a yud with a hirek and there's a vav and a dot, but there's still a ni. There is still a ni. So you got YIRDEFU, which is a cow, imperfect, 3 masculine plural. Now this is very important. What does the Bible say? Goodness and
Mercy.
Mercy.
is goodness and mercy one or two components?
2.
Two.
That is the reason why the Bible says YIRDEFU. Is it he will follow, she will follow, or they will follow?
They.
Can you
They.
begin to appreciate?
Oh, no.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's they.
will.
You're right,
So it's-
correct, Adiola. Now, the reason why I bring up this point, can you see how grammatically correct the Bible is?
Yep. Wow.
Even right down to the nitty-gritty. That was one of the reasons why one of my friends who is now in Perth, he said, I became, and he's actually a PhD in biochemical sciences. And he said, the reason why I became a Christian when I was searching as a Muslim in America is because the Bible got it right. You know, when the Bible was describing about an embryo, it's like the mesoderm and the endoderm, one has to come after the other. But now I'm just trying to highlight to you the grammatically correct, because it's goodness and mercy. So the real good translation of the Bible is, surely goodness and mercy, comma, they will
Hello.
pursue after
Pursue.
you. Now, how did YIRDEFU, where did the ni come from? Because I want to solve that pain point, which is the final word there. I want to solve the ni there, and then we'll go for a break. Okay, I know this is a little bit challenging, but so now we've solved the 3 masculine plural is they will pursue. Can you turn to your neighbor and say they will pursue?
They will pursue.
Very
pursue.
Alrighty, let me just put on the video panel so that I can see you guys. They will pursue, right? So, but we haven't resolved one more last thing. So we've got the yik here, and we've got the 3 radaf there, and we've got the shurek there, which resolve a lot of this pain point. So there's one more additional clue, jigsaw puzzle that we need to resolve. So those of you who are smart, what is that jigsaw puzzle that has not been resolved? Very good. Now, before we stop, I want to highlight to you, we have done this briefly, but tonight we're going a little bit in depth, okay? Sorry to those of you who are not able to follow very well, but we will do a bit. Those of you who need a little bit of a revision, we can do after the lesson tonight, okay? Now, a spotlight. Okay, this is called pronominal suffixes. Turn to your neighbor and say pronominal suffixes.
Pronominal suffixes.
So one of the interesting things is that in biblical Hebrew, certain words can come together. And a very simple word that you already know by heart is Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6. God with us in Hebrew is called Immanuel. Turn to your neighbor and say Immanuel.
Emmanuel.
Well,
Right. Okay. Ma
Man.
nu
new
L.
L.
What is L?
God.
God. Im is, you already know just now.
With us. Oh.
Im is with. Nu is, now you know. What is nu?
Us. With us.
So with
With us.
us is
God.
God.
Emmanuel.
Hallelujah. So you see,
Yeshua.
sometimes biblical Hebrew is very efficient. It has a verb, it has a stem, it has a conjugation, and it has a pronominal suffix together. That's the reason why RADAPH become YIRDEFUNY. So to cut your pain short, where does the nu come from? My brothers and sisters, where does the nu come from? Is it e, ka, u, a, nu, kem, ken, ham, hen? Which is it?
Us.
Where is YIRDEFUNY? What does ni means?
To go. To.
Team Australia, Team Malaysia, Singapore, Team Japan, and Team Europe. This is the final piece of the puzzle before we continue. To resolve how RADAPH becomes YIRDEFUNY, you have already resolved 90%, which is YIRDEFU is they shall follow. It's a Carl imperfect 3 plural. But now there's one more thing that you need to know. 3 masculine plural. And that is the ni. Where does the ni come from?
1 CS.
Who says 1 CS?
With us.
It shall follow me.
1 CS.
So it's me. It's me.
Who says
so
1
she's
CS?
correct.
Who bravely
Must be
dare to
1
say 1 CS?
Yeah, us.
Mel,
Malaysia.
I second that emotion.
Adela, what is it? 1 CS or what?
No, I agree with her. It must be 1 CS because it's goodness and mercy. But then they follow us. We are the first person singular.
Yeah. It's not nu,
Us
it's
as in me.
it's not ham, it's not ka, it's not ke, it's not o, it's not ha. So it's e. And what does e mean?
Me.
So they, surely goodness and mercy, they, because it's imperfect, is to continue to follow, they will follow
Oh. Me.
me.
Wow.
That is how you pass biblical Hebrew. So I just have given you 1 word. So now we know. Let's do a debrief. Okay, so now we know it's Carl imperfect. There's a specific preformative. It has a certain pronominal suffix ending with a N-I, Y. So now you know is surely goodness and mercy. They is 3 masculine plural. They will pursue after me. Now you understand. YIRDEFUNY. Now who got that right? Everybody got it right. Okay? Very, very good. So, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, time now is 8:53. I will stop recording